Hi, my name is Roger Schluter. This video is actually about the timelines for approval of an SBA loan. And I'm really going to look at the two main SBA loans, the 504 and the 7A. But the video is actually about the timelines of approval and the funding of SBA loans. If you stay toward the end of the video, I'm going to show you a comparison of the 504 and the SBA 7A timelines and show you how they're the same and how they're different. Please address any questions down below. And if you have any video ideas, sometimes my idea content and your idea are kind of different. So I really want to, if you have something that you really want me to cover, I do want to cover that. So anyway, when talking about SBA loans, there are really two types of SBA loans, in my opinion. There's the SBA 504 loan, and then I lump all the other SBA loans into the 7A loan category because basically all the other ones are just offshoots of the 7A, and mostly they all work the same except for a few nuances here and there. So anyway, the SBA 504 loan must go through a certified development company, and we really say utilize the acronym CDC for Certified Development Company, and they are kind of an offshoot of the SBA that actually does a lot of the work, a lot of the grunt work for the 504 loan, and then we send it into SBA for approval. So anyway, the CDC usually has an application, of course, and then the bank will have some sort of an application, and those can differ from very brief to very complex. So anyway, both will have documents to attach to the application, and then all of this is emailed either to the CDC or the bank loan officer. It really doesn't matter when you talk to the bank or CDC. The only thing you have to remember is you do need to have an approval from the bank before the CDC will start their approval process. So anyway, you can get those, you can go through the bank first, go through the SBA first, but before the SBA really takes it seriously, they're going to have an approval from the bank to do this loan as a SBA 504 loan. Finding a bank and getting the approval from the bank usually takes about 2 to 4 weeks. And then after the bank approval, the CDC must get approval from a local committee and board, and this will usually also take about 2 to 4 weeks. Submission to SBA will usually take, I hate to say it, but about 2 to 4 weeks. And that's if the SBA has no problems with the loan application. Sometimes they see things differently, or they think, maybe you left out some stuff. That happens too. So anyway, they want it to be as perfect of an application as they can make it. Number 4, the closing will usually take like 4 to 8 weeks. So that's not the same as the 2 to 4. It's 4 to 8 weeks. And basically that is because the actual closing of the SBA, even after you have all the documents, it still takes a month and a half for the SBA to process it, and then them to send the bank the money that pays down that 40%. So anyway, SBA 504 program does not close the loan until the borrower can actually get an occupancy permit. So if the business is buying an existing building, or even they're buying equipment, they can really start the closing process after the SBA approves the project. This SBA approval will be evidenced by the SBA issuing an authorization and debenture guarantee. This document is SBA's final approval. It is kind of the Bible of the loan structure and the loan closing. This document will probably be about 16, 17 pages around there, and really covers the whole deal and the whole loan, everything that's required, from the bank, the borrower, the SBA. So it's a very comprehensive document. So anyway, the SBA 504 timeline: bank approval 2 to 4 weeks, SBA committee approval 2 to 4 weeks. Submission to SBA with an approval is 2 to 4 weeks, providing the SBA has no questions. And then closing with an existing building, with no, you're not building a new building or doing renovation, is usually about 6 to 8 weeks. So anyway, the total project timeline would basically be 12 weeks to 20 weeks, or if you want to put that in months, 3 months to 5 months to do an SBA 504. And I know that is a pretty big range there, but it does depend on how quickly the CDC gets the information, how soon they can meet with their local committee, and then when they send it into SBA, how quickly the SBA does it also. So anyway, if the borrower has to construct a building or renovate the building, then the additional time would be added to the construction or renovation that the borrower would need to get an occupancy permit to close the loan with SBA. The SBA 7A loan is initiated by the bank, and the bank goes through the SBA to get approval. So there is no middleman here. The bank can be a regular SBA lender, or the bank can be a preferred lender with SBA. Being a preferred lender, the bank approves the SBA loan so the approval by the bank and the SBA will probably be approximately 2 to 4 weeks, because the bank is approving the loan, and the SBA basically, after they approve it, they send the information to SBA, and SBA doesn't approve it, they just get the information. So on a preferred lender, the bank is approving the SBA loan for the bank and for the SBA. So it usually takes approximately 2 to 4 weeks. This is the fastest way to get an SBA 7A done. This is a very quick approval process, but very few banks are preferred lenders. And some banks prefer not to be preferred lenders for other reasons I can cover in a different video or something. But anyway, banks that are regular SBA 7A lenders, the timeline is bank approval, 2 to 4 weeks. It seems like this 2 to 4 weeks keeps coming up. Submitting to SBA and getting approval is approximately 2 to 4 weeks. Submitting or closing for an existing building or equipment, and that's with, you're not building or doing renovation. And that is also about 2 to 4 weeks. So the total project timeline is about 6 weeks to 12 weeks, or if you want to put that in months, about 1.5 months to 3 months. So anyway, if the borrower has to construct a building or renovate a building, then additional time would be added to the construction or renovation. The borrower will need an occupancy permit to close the loan with SBA on a 7A loan. Also, in summary, the SBA 7A loan through a bank would provide faster approval and closing of the loan. The 504 loan is cheaper, is lower interest rate, and gives you that fixed rate for the 20-25 years, cheaper than the SBA 7A loan, even with all the SBA fees. I did a video of which the loan, showed which loan was cheaper and showed 504. I think the title of it was 504 versus 7A better for real estate. So anyway, the comparison of the SBA 504 and the SBA 7A timelines. Bank approval, both of them would be basically 2 to 4 weeks. CDC committee approval would be 2 to 4 weeks. The SBA loan doesn't have that. Submission to SBA with approval would be 2 to 4 weeks for the 504 and 2 to 4 weeks for the 7A. Closing, an existing building or equipment, the SBA 504 would be 6 to 8 weeks, and the SBA 7A would be 2 to 4 weeks. So anyway, for the 504, we have 12 to 20 weeks, and basically you're talking 3 months to 5 months to go ahead and close, to get that 504 loan closed. Whereas on the 7A, you have 6 weeks to 12 weeks, 1.5 months to 3 months to basically get that 7A closed. The SBA 7A loan through a bank would be the fastest, and actually it's just about twice as fast. And actually can be even faster if the bank went, if the borrower goes through a preferred lender. So anyway, and through a preferred lender, the timeline would be probably 2 to 4 weeks or 1 month to 2 months. But you can see how that's even quicker. That's almost, quicker than the regular 7A. So anyway, hey, if you like this kind of content or business content, please subscribe and hit the bell notification for future videos that I do. If you learned anything from this video, I hope you hit the like button. So anyway, my name is Roger Schlueter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.